Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. In today's video, we've got more bacon making to take care of, and I want to make a steakhouse style bacon. I want to make something that's got the black pepper laid on it. So let's get into it. I've got some really super dark brown sugar, and I've got my Camp Dog seasoning. I'm gonna tear into these things right now. What you're gonna notice is right off the bat, these are huge. This was a healthy little mama. And I'm telling you what, absolutely monstrous. So instead of curing and trying to do this whole thing all in one piece, I'm gonna do as I have before, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut them about the length of what I usually have my bacon when I wanna slice it for the skillet, which is about that long. I'm gonna say that's about 7-8 inches. And I'm just gonna go ahead and divvy that off right now. Wow, 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 wow. And there you have it. This is one side of bacon, and I'm telling you what, it's monstrous. So I'm gonna take what will fit in the pan here. Well, you know what? I'm not either. I'm gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna start out with a healthy helping of black pepper. And I'm gonna coat the top, bottom, sides, and ends, all of it 100%, like this. When we wash this salt off at the end, you'll see the pepper stays. This pepper won't wash off. I feel a little piece of cartilage right here. Gonna get rid of that. Now after we pepper it, it's gonna be time for some Camp Dog Cajun seasoning. That's gonna add a lot of that flavor that I want, that steakhouse flavor. And I'm gonna rub that into it so it'll stick as well. If Camp Dog Cajun seasoning is something that you've been having on your bucket list for a while, I would highly recommend to just go ahead and get it. All you gotta do is drop down in the descriptions of this video, and it's right there. I think it's the very first one, Camp Dog Cajun seasoning. And if you use the promo code McGee, without a doubt, you will get 20% off. Now that I've got that done, it's time for some brown sugar. And I don't want to contaminate the brown sugar with my hands, so I'm just going to dump some in the pan, and then I'll use from that. And I'm just going to rub this brown sugar on it, just like so. Don't that look good? Now, we're going to take this and we're going to submerge it in salt. I use evaporated food grade salt. I get it at the co-op. Cost me around $20 for 50 pounds. As you know, I already cured bacon once this year. I've got my salt still in here. This is roughly 60 pounds, I'm gonna say. And I'm just gonna take my salt and cover it over. I want it covered heavy. Just like that. And then when we put the next one in, we'll have a layer of salt between the two bacons. And that's gonna cure right there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna knock the rest of these out quick as possible. Get it all in that salt so we can get to curing. It's 3 days later. The bacon has been in the salt. Right out here, leaves just falling like everything, but yet the salt is clean, perfectly clean. So I'm gonna pull this bacon out. As you can see, covered in pepper and sugar still. Smells very good. Smells very much like black pepper. Now, every year we have this issue. The first time we get down in the 20s, we have forgot the night before to drain the water hoses. So I cannot spray my bacon on. So I'm gonna have to do it in a big old ice chest full of water, like that. So I'm gonna rinse these all off, get all the salt off of these bacons, and we're gonna hang them up at the smokehouse and get the smoke rolling. Let's do it. The roosters woke us up to an absolutely gorgeous morning this morning, and it just happens to be time to slice into some bacon. I smoked this bacon pretty hard for about 3 days, not constantly, but at night when it was really cold. We had some pretty chilly weather. We didn't hit the teens, but we hit the low 20s. Now we're hitting a warming spree, and I mean very warm. Today is supposed to hit like 76 degrees. Tomorrow, like almost 80. So I'm not sure this stuff has had chance to really, truly cure and dry out. I may have to cut it up and get it in the freezer. I'll take a look at it right now. Let's see what we got here. It's looking good. You'll notice that the pepper and the camp dog stuck. When we wash it off, it washes the salt away from the outside. Salt is still permeating through the interior of it, but the pepper and the camp dog sticks. So I'm just gonna slice into this. If the inside of your bacon starts turning a little gray, that's something you can go by to know it's starting to go the other way, and you don't want that. So far, this is looking fairly white, which is good. If it starts going gray, if the salt has permeated it good, it's not necessarily bad for you to eat. I know some people throw it out at that point. I've eaten it at that point, and nobody got sick. Everybody thought it tasted fine. Totally up to you, but if you are curing bacons early in the fall, when we're gonna have these warm-up spells, you may have to freeze them. You may have to. But in my case, I have to anyway, because I don't just kill like my 2 winter hogs. If I was gonna do like the old timers, just kill 2 hogs a year, I would definitely wait till cold weather was gonna set in for a good long time. Get it all done, get it all in, cure it, smoke it, and let it hang. And I will let the last ones that I cure in the winter, I'm gonna let them hang all up into July like I did last year. But I can't just leave these in there, put another big batch in, double smoke, put another big batch in, triple smoke, on and on. Ain't gonna work. If I wasn't going to put them in the freezer, I'd have to take them and hang them in my summer kitchen, which I did some last year. Now I have a root cellar, I can hang them in there. But needless to say, I can't leave them in here. But now it's not looking like they're turning. It looks like I did a good job. Now I left them in the salt a good bit longer than my last batch. You can see that, that's beautiful. Nothing wrong with it. Enough peppers getting on my fingers that it sticks to it like that. And you know what? That is a good thing. Because steakhouse bacon needs to taste like black pepper. Let's slice this stuff up and get done with it. I don't know if you want to be able to slice bacon like this by hand with a knife, but if you do, I cannot recommend the Victorinox 6-inch semi-flexible, fairly stiff boning knife. Unbelievable. I was given this knife by Longbow Banjo 2 years ago. I have used it hard. I mean, I have used this knife hard. You keep this knife sharp and you can just fillet off these paper thin strips of bacon that are just absolutely unbelievable. And sometimes we like it thicker, sometimes we like it thinner. Kind of depends on which part of the belly we're cutting and how long it cured, because as you cure it longer and longer and longer, it dries out and gets more and more dense. Therefore you slice it thinner and thinner. But I've got these in the descriptions. You can go down and get yourself one. Amazing, amazing knives. And you say, Mr. McGee, why don't you use a slicer? Can you imagine the difference between washing this and washing a slicer? I've got a meat slicer. I've gone through all that. I could cut prettier slices if it's not just real hard, if it's floppy. I can cut prettier slices with this knife, and I don't have to take the blade off, deal with all the motor, the internal parts, all this junk that get grease up in behind the blade. This here is easy. And it's cheaper. And it's much more versatile because I can skin a pig with it, skin a deer with it. I can slice a bacon. I can do every part of this job with this one knife right here. I highly recommend that knife right there. So let's get this bacon in. I believe this is enough to fill them boys plumb up. We got to roof a house today, and as you know, it takes energy to roof a house. Nothing is packed with energy like bacon. Let's do it. right, we have to scoot this way, yeah. Come this way a little bit. Everybody just move it. Don't do that, it'll hit your head. Come on, let's go a little bit. You'll get to wobbling around, whack your head on that, and then we'll have, oh boy. We'll be leaking Frank juice all over. All right, folks, here is does anybody know what this bacon's called? It's called the steakhouse bacon. I tried to fry it right, and I think I might have a little overdone it.
And what we got to say
Oh,
about this?
just take you another one. We'll call that one for Rusty. Try to get one that ain't burnt. Oh, we need a good. Oh, Caleb got the best one. I'm gonna get one like Caleb got. Well, I triple stacked them in there because they were so thick. Now, what I need to know: do you taste black pepper? Can you taste the sugar? Camp dog. That was the 3 main things. Let's see what we got. You know, I'm gonna have to have another one. I can't really tell.
Okay.
It's not very salty. It's not terribly salty.
No.
With the sugar and everything coating it first, the salt slowed down. I'm sure the salt couldn't penetrate quite as good, so I left it in there an extra few days. It's definitely salty enough for eating, but it's not salty enough you need to soak it in water. I honestly can't taste the black pepper.
No.
Can't taste nothing, really. But it's good.
It just tastes like good old bacon, just regular bacon.
That's right.
I don't know what kind of preservatives they put on that smokehouse bacon, the right brand or whatever, to make it taste like it does. Maybe a particular brine. I don't know. I know one thing that's good.
It is really good.
You like it?
Really good.
One more, Joe. Everybody try another one. Frank, you got the blackest one. David?
I already had a second one.
Good.
I think everybody's pretty much had 3. Anyway, David, what do you think about it?
It's really good.
Really good. Really good.
Keep that. Very tasty.
Can't really pick out any flavors.
It just tastes like good old salty bacon. Not even all that salty. Anyway, there you go. You know what that means? We're going to have to keep doing experiments. We're going to have to keep smoking bacon. This here was smoked with oak and hickory. So it had a mixture. Sometimes pure oak gives it a little more of a stronger flavor. But I've got some apple wood. I've got some pecan wood. I've got different kinds of wood. We're going to be continuing these experiments. I'm going to try to eventually get some that taste more like steakhouse bacon and see what can go with there. Maybe I may have to salt and pepper it in the skillet. I don't know. I've still got plenty hanging here, so that could be done. We might have to do that. But that's all we've got for you today. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.